Hello friends and enemies, welcome back to Happy For Now. It's me, Isabel, here with my September mid-month wrap-up. Holy crap, we're here. It has been an interesting reading month to say the least, which is fine, it happens. There's a video coming at some point in the future about this. Some other people have been talking about this. I just think it's a weird year, but that's a whole other story. If you're new here, let's talk about all the books I've read so far this month through the 15th-ish of September. And I will break this up into the books I read in order and then the mangas I read in order. And I'll come back at the end of the month / beginning of October and give you the wrap up for everything else I read and ratings, stats, all that goodness if you're curious about those bits too, as well as the rest of the books I read for the month. This month had quite a few good books though, so we're gonna dive right in with Their Vicious Darling. This is the third book in the Vicious Lost Boys series. So this is the third book. This one follows a really wild cliffhanger that we ended on in book 2, the dark one, and I'm loving it. I gave this 5 stars. There's a live show on my channel where we discuss this book in full spoilers. I don't want to give a ton of details away because it is the third book in a series, but this is a Peter Pan dark retelling that is a wide choose romance. We get a lot of really interesting reveals in book 3 and a good continuation of the story, as well as some solid romance. This book is definitely plot heavy and not as romance heavy as the other books are, but we meet some new characters that I'm very invested in and I want more from. So I'm excited to see where we go. Tentatively, I think the next book will be out in December, so I'm hopeful that, you know, by Christmas time or earlier we'll be reading it, and it's just everything I want. We'll see. We'll see. Next, I read 2 Scoops of Hellfire by Kimberly Lemming. This is a cute little Kindle Unlimited novella. It does have some like small typos, I think, still, and some other things like grammar, just small though, nothing big. And if you like Kimberly Lemming, I think this is a great option to just pick up and read in an evening, or in an evening in the morning when you wake up if you're me and always fall asleep. But I really enjoyed this. I gave it 4 stars. I just think it was really cute. It is about a baker who accidentally summons a demon, and she just can't follow directions very well, so her baking always turns out wrong in some capacity, and he kind of helps her with that, and they have a really great boning session, and that's really all you need out of this book. You know, it's like 40-some pages. But it was really fun. I thought it had a solid plot for how short it was, and I thought the banging was delightful, so 4 stars. Next, I did read Sweet Berries by C.M. Nakasta. This was the members pick for August. This I really enjoyed. This is a Mothman monster romance, and this surprised me. We have another neurodivergent character. We have just a very sweet cinnamon roll hero, some weird, interesting sex scenes, and I would say like a really pretty interesting plot. It does kind of hinge on some miscommunication / not communicating about a thing for the major conflict, but it's worked out pretty quickly and efficiently in a way that I enjoyed and didn't hate. But I gave it 4 stars. I think the Morning Glory Milking Farm is still my favorite in the series, so there's that. But I still had a blast reading this, and honestly I'm just curious to continue to explore Camber Creek. I will be reading The Moon Blooded Breeding Clinic, whatever that one is. The next one is and Run Rabbit Run at some point this year or next. Then, y'all, one of my favorite series has concluded indefinitely, we'll call it. It's not forever, I don't think, but we do not have a date for the next book, and that is Ruby Fever by Ilona Andrews. This is the 3rd and final book in Catalina and Alessandro's trilogy. This is the Hidden Legacy series. There is a live over on Steph at Novelty Corner's channel about this one, and this whole series, there's lives across a couple channels. I'm just really sad it's over. I did give it 6 stars. It is an all-time favorite still. This again was plot focused heavy, not romance heavy, which was okay because these are urban fantasies kind of technically with like really good romances. But I would still categorize them as urban fantasies because generally we're going over 3 books to get a HEA. So this for me was a great wrap up to the series overall. I'm happy with where we're at, but I am sad because we do not have a date. So we'll see what happens, and keep an eye out because there will be announcements about the next Ilona Andrews series we'll be reading very, very soon. I have crashed their party officially and joined them now that they are done with Kate Daniels, because I did not want to reread the beginning of Kate Daniels. I just need to finish that, so we'll see what I do. Then I read Primal by Jessica Gaziella. I picked this up because I was expecting more Primal play because of the title. I got an intro with some Primal play, kind of chasing happening, but this is actually a really sweet shifter romance, honestly, and it was pretty dang cute. It is the first Jessica Gadziela I have finished, and it will not be the last. I'm going to explore some more of her titles now. I thought this was really cute. Our hero, the werewolf man, Waylon, is really, really sweet and caring in a way that we don't always get from our wolf heroes. Like, he's not like overly aggressive or anything, but he is sweet and caring, and he really liked talking to the heroine and helping her out. She moves from the city to the Appalachian Mountains to her grandmother's old house and has to like learn to take care of herself there, like chopping wood and all these things, and he helps her a lot with this, and it's just really, really cute. It's very slow, not slow in a bad way because it's very short, but like it's kind of just like a slower setting romance, which was enjoyable and a change of pace for me, which is why I ended up at 3.5 stars, not a 4 or 5. Like I said, I liked it, but I didn't love it. So I'm just kind of like at a 3.5 because there's not anything like super glaring for me that's like, no, this is why I didn't like it. It just I didn't connect with it as much as I wanted. And I think some of that was my own expectations, expecting more primal play in it than there was, because literally it's like the opening scene, but it still was a really hot book. It was still a really enjoyable read, and I still had a good time with it. So there's that. Next, we have Homicide and Hollow Hollow by Mia P. Maniscalco. I think I'm saying that right. This is the cozy mystery series I read last year. I read Arsenic and Adobo, and I really, really enjoyed it. So I did finally pick up the sequel, which is Homicide and Hollow Hollow. I liked this one. I give it 4 stars. I don't think it's as strong as the first book, but I still enjoyed being in the world, the family, the dynamics happening here. I kind of don't care about the love interest in this one, which is interesting. Usually in cozies, I have someone I'm rooting for, and in this one, I'm kind of indifferent on who she ends up with. So there's that. I was a little surprised myself on that one. This is one where I really wasn't sure on who the villain was going to be, like who was doing the problem things. So that was also really interesting for me. Lila, our main character, is growing a lot in this book, and I think that was necessary and mandatory, and I really liked that aspect of it. It focused heavily on her growing and figuring out things in life and all that good stuff, and again, it was just everything I wanted out of it, to be honest with you. So I'm happy for the most part with where it ended and how it went. But I'll pick up book 3, and if I don't love book 3, it may not be a series that I like immediately reach to. It might just be like this, where I just kind of pick it up when I need a palate cleanser. Next, I read Little Green Vines by Britt Andrews. This is a sapphic monster romance. This is one that I just had on my KU list and I needed to get to, so I finally picked it up, and I'm glad I did. This was cute. I'm giving it like another 3.5 stars. I wanted a little more plot to the world. This follows a girl who lives on her own. She ends up, her mom and them always told her don't go into the forest. She kind of decides to go into the forest and ends up with a demoness who can grow vines and all these things. It was very interesting, in my opinion, how that all worked in this book. I also just felt like I wanted more backstory as to why not to go into the forest, like some of the tales they were told about the forest I think would have been interesting. But yeah, she stumbles into the forest. She ends up like running into the forest and ending up at this demoness's cabin. She doesn't know that's what they are. And then they have a really hot sex, and the sex was great in it. She like transforms into this thing with it, like a demon with a tail that can also penetrate and impregnate her. So that was interesting. I always think tail pregnancy stuff is always interesting. It's different. It's weird. We don't get it a lot. I feel like it's more of a fanfic thing that we see and not often a thing we see in regular fiction books. Again, cute sapphic romance. Another one, you could read it in a sitting very easily. It's like 40-some pages. So if you're looking for that, I think it's a great option, but also I think it's an easy one to skip. I'm giving it a 3.5 because, like I said, for the most part, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed how hot it was. I enjoyed the BDSM in it, but it just, more plot. I just needed a little more plot because I thought the smut just wasn't quite there either. So it's basically erotica. Like, that's honestly what I would say. It's basically erotica. So I don't know. I think I expected a little more plot because I didn't realize as much erotica as it was. Like, that it was towing that line more. So there's that. Like, there's an HEA though. But like, it's like romantic erotica. Yeah, it's a fun one. All right, let's talk about the manga and then we'll talk about my currently reading. So first, for the manga, I did read Fire in His Fingertips Volume 4, and I'm giving this 4 stars. I enjoyed it, but I didn't love it. I think we focused too much on a new former love interest that enters the picture here, and I didn't enjoy that aspect of it, to be honest with you. The parts where Rio and Soma were together, I loved, and I loved the steamy scenes, of course, and I liked our plot development for the most part. I just, like I said, the extra love interest, the return of an ex is just like not my favorite plot line, personally. Then I read Abe Kuhn's Got Me Now, volume 7, which I gave 5 stars. This was so freaking cute. This continued their love story, and it was Abe meeting her parents, and it was just really cute how that went and what the conversation was and how dedicated he is to her, even though they're like in high school, and that's ridiculous, but adorableness, 5 stars. Then I read Ladies on Top, volume 1. This manga is the newest Steamship volume 2 drop, and this one might be the one I recommend the most. I almost wish I waited to make my review video, but this one and the one that comes out in March will be in a video together. Like, we'll do a follow-up video where I talk about this one and the new one in March and like the following volumes. But this volume 1 was really interesting. This plays heavily on female dynamics and male dynamics, like gender roles, like who should be on top, who should be in charge in a relationship. And they're both really unsure of the fact that like she wants to be in charge and he likes that she wants to be in charge. At one point he's looking up pegging on his phone, y'all, like, hello, yes please. But yeah, he likes aggressive women and he doesn't know how to feel about it, and she likes being the aggressor, and it was really fun. I'm really excited to see where volume 2 goes. I'm hoping we get pegging. I honestly am. Like, I don't know if we will, but I feel like the groundwork is being laid for that to happen. So fingers crossed it actually does, because I would love to see that in a spicy manga. But yeah, this is really good. Then I did read Something's Wrong With Us, volume 10. I about threw this across the room. That's what you need to know. I about threw this across the room. I did still give it 5 stars, but I about threw this across the room because the ending is bananas. We're like coming full circle in a weird way right now. And I don't know how I feel about it. So I'm curious to see where volume 11 takes us. I am desperate for volume 11 to be out. We do have a little bit longer, but as soon as it hits my doorstep, I will be reading it because I have to know. Like, I just have to know. I have to know what happens. So this is very high on my TBR list and very high on my must read ASAP list when the next one comes out. Like, it will be one that I'm just, as soon as it hits my door, I'm reading it probably the same day, because that's where we're sitting right now. This was so good though, and I really did love it. If you are interested in a dark romantic suspense situation, this is the perfect manga for that. And I think it's one of those ones where it's really engaging and easy to read, so it's perfect for someone who's newer to the category, especially, or genre, not category, whatever. Format, new to the format. I think it would be an easy one to follow, but also I think it's one that you possibly could get from your library pretty easily. So if you haven't picked this up and you like those kinds of books, give it a go. Then we read my favorite, Blood on the Tracks, so volume 10, which is ginormous, and 11, which is also very large. These are big volumes, so I'm just gonna hold up 11 because I love the butterflies. The gold is fun. These are both 5 stars, but I am, honestly, if you've read these, like, DM me, because I don't even know after this one. After 11, I am stunned. I'm excited, but I am also stunned. I can't believe where we're at. I can't believe the contents of these 2 volumes. And I'm very like, what is gonna happen? Because up to volume 13 is a prologue of the story. So if this is the prologue, what is the like rest of the story? I'm concerned. Like, I'm very concerned, but excited, also excited, concerned and excited. That's where I'm sitting currently on this one. So yeah, 5 stars, but if you want a dark thriller manga that's real fucked up, lots of content warnings on this one. Dead animals and child abuse, murder, attempted murder, not murder on page, yeah, I don't know. I had a moment in this volume where I was like, this is a dream, and it was not a dream. And I was like, oh, okay. So yeah, I have no words. Next, we have The Duke of Death and His Maid, volume 1. I picked this up on a whim, and I really thought this was quite cute. This is about a boy who was cursed by a witch as a child, and his mom sent him away to their other mansion, and the maid is the daughter of their maid at home, and they were like kind of friends as kids. And it's really cute. It is a little like on the, you know, ick side, we'll call it, where she often is like a little too close to him or showing a little too much skin to him because she likes him and that's how she's trying to show her interest. But I'm enjoying it because they're the same age, so it doesn't feel too icky, if that makes sense. But I just think it's really cute, and he's just trying to navigate life when he can't touch anyone and no one can touch him. And it's just kind of precious. Like, it's really weirdly sweet. So I'm curious to pick up volume 2 of this. Next is my new favorite series, y'all. Oh my gosh, I'm obsessed. Obsessed with this series already. I have to get volume 3 like this weekend. So Imakoi volume 1 and 2. It's technically Imakoi Now I'm in Love. So this follows a girl who didn't confess her crush in a middle school and was just fine being from afar, and she declared to herself, promised, the next time she was attracted to someone and liked them, she would tell them. So that is what she does. And that is why she starts dating her new classmate, and it's just really precious. Like, their whole relationship and how they end up dating is really, really cute. Their communication's really cute. This gives me all the bubbly feelings I love with a shoujo romance, to be honest with you. So if you're looking for that, I think this is a great one that's releasing right now to pick up. And yeah, I'm just, y'all, it's so cute. So I read both of these like back to back. I was like, oh my gosh. And then I was super sad immediately because I didn't have volume 3 to read. So yeah, I'm adding that to my list ASAP to pick up and to read because this was just the cutest, and I'm so excited to see where their relationship goes. And like the art in it is just adorable. Like, look at them. They're so cute. And she's super shy and nervous, and he's not necessarily. Like, she's not his first girlfriend. And they're sweet little beans. So if you're looking for that, this is the manga for you. All right, let's jump right into my currently reading shelf, which has quite a bit on it. So I did just start today The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches by Sangu Mandana. I'm like 1 chapter in. I'm curious, I'm intrigued, I'm hopeful I will love this. So many people I know liked this. I'm hoping this is a new release that I actually liked. Because I feel like there's not been a lot this year that I have continued reading and or fully enjoyed. I'm also reading Vampire Academy by Rochelle Mead because the show just dropped and I would like to reread the book before I try and watch the show. Stuff coming soon on this one. I'm not probably going to share full thoughts on this book, because there's going to be a couple places where you're going to get those thoughts. Take that as you will. I'm also about 30% through I'm Glad My Mom Died. I am on a live show tomorrow, if you're watching this the day it comes out, evening over on Aaron's channel. I will link to his channel down in the comments. So I will link to that down below. But the 30% I do want to give a quick content warning. There is so much discussion of eating disorder stuff in this, and I'm getting through it okay, but I want to caution anyone else who struggles with this to be careful of when you pick this up and where you are when you pick it up. I actually like put it down briefly because I was just like, I need a break before I finish it, and the live isn't until Monday, so I was like, I'll just finish it then. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of other content warnings that go into this book because of the stuff we're going to talk about with Nickelodeon and the one guy, I cannot think of his name, that's not great. So just be aware of that. And then I'm also still finishing up Dodging Energy Vampires by Christine Northrup. I am not as too far in it. It accidentally went back to the library on me before I finished this, and I'm going to finish it up here soon. And I need to get a physical copy to mark up, but I'm really liking this. I think it's very informative for those of us who feel very empathetic to others and feel like we often give too much of ourselves to others. So this could be a helpful book for you, but I'm hoping to have it done by the end of this month so I can actually talk about it and wrap it up. That is everything I'm reading. Let me know in the comments what you're reading right now and loving. And if you don't want to do that, leave me a vampire emoji, because literally talked about 2 vampire related books in this wrap up. So give me that vampire emoji, and I will have links to all these books I'm reading right now in the description box, as well as links to be my friend anywhere on the internet. And I will talk to y'all in just a few days. Bye.
Already packing, come with me. I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be, life with no distractions. We'll get